Josiah Knight, another edge player, 6'4", 230, Tallahassee, Florida. Offers from Georgia Tech, Cincinnati, Maryland, Missouri, which pains me, but they have been recruiting at a fabulous level. Purdue and Vanderbilt, just among a few. This guy is another player who looks like a football player. I'm not trying to compare him to it, but there's a little bit of the Wilbur Marshall look here in him. He's out on the field. He puts pressure on things. He makes things happen. Ked, what did you think about Josiah?
Well, another kid from the Sunshine State. This kid was a 4-year varsity football player who had well over 180 tackles, over 40 yards tackles for loss. I think 18, 19, 20 sacks in his career. Just a unique edge rusher. And I just think physically, when you look at his build at 6'4", 235, he looks just mean and nasty, and a guy that I think has really, really, he's like Matt mentioned in some of these other recruiting tidbits, guys, with long arms and just athletic ability, things that you can't teach. He may be the guy that can do that. I really like what Illinois did with this entire class. I mean, they're trying to go out and get guys that can put to open up holes and block, but also put pressure on quarterbacks. And this kid he's fast, he's quick. So that's going to be really, really nice to see. I don't think he's going to see the field right away, but again, you never know with a kid, this size, but he's a big specimen.
If we're playing the Jay Billis NBA draft drinking game, folks, tip one back because he has a wingspan of 6'10", and that's exactly what Charlie Bolin and Brett Bielema look for when they evaluate outside edge rushers at that outside linebacker position in Charlie Bolin's room. He is physically he is the exact opposite of Daniel Brown. He is what an a pass rusher should look like at 6'4", 6'5", 250 pounds, with speed and with length and with the ability to be able to do everything. Again, the player comp for me is Seth Coleman. I think that he has the ability to have the kind of length that Illinois looks for in that type of position. And I think that physically he's just so gifted that JoJo has the ability to get on the field as quick as possible if he can put all of his skills together. Here's where I'm concerned. It's a small concern. I think that technique-wise, he needs a lot of work because he has the production, but I think that Charlie Bolin's going to have to work with him on his feet. He's going to have to work with him on his hands and technique-wise. But he's worked with NFL guys before, and this is the kind of clay that Charlie Bolin wants to work with. So I think that there's a lot of excitement about the potential of what this young man could bring at this position. And again, we're not exactly talking about a defensive lineman with his hand in the ground. We're talking about a guy that's going to play in the 2-point stance. But this is also, again, up front near the line of scrimmage where Illinois needs the most reworking right now in Aaron Henry's scheme, because they need to put more pressure on the quarterback than they certainly did in 2023. And so over time, I think when you recruit guys like JoJo Knight, from Florida, I think that you feel like you have the ability to be able to do that more and more defensively. And that's going to be a big key over the next couple of years if Illinois has been able to do that. Because when Illinois has been able to put pressure on the quarterback, that has been when turnovers have happened. And that's when they've won a lot of football games.
Yeah, again, another guy that you look at the physical skills with good coaching should be able to develop. So it's another exciting signing for the Illini.